relax. So the main thing to the system is I don't know if it's last year or a year before last. My wife said something to me about that you guys wanted to go somewhere. They wanted contributions. Okay, and she told me that you are going out for. She was saying outreach, if I remember well. We came back with school. I said, okay, no, that's nice. Let's see to it that we do something because we are moved and inspired by one and the same spirit.
That's right.
And we say we are a body. That means somebody is a hand somewhere. We just need to figure it out. Somebody is a toe, somebody is a head. And the head already we know who that is. That is Jesus Christ. Yeah. But for the body to coordinate, it should be that when the right hand is moving, if it needs support from the left hand must be there to do it. Or else we are going to have a funny body. The left hand is going left, the right hand is going right. What happens? We will have a big problem. Yeah. So having heard that, I said, that's very good. But that sometime again, could have another thing again. Though like this thing, but in the whole just wish I could do. Hey, and it came across as a very nice thing. I like giving. So what can you tell us about this that you guys are doing?
I'm leading a movement. It's an evangelism, and it focuses on evangelism and discipleship. Wow. It's called Tlatsale Hotimo. That is to fill up heaven. Because of a simple reason. Our desire is to see hell emptied and heaven filled. Wow. As Reinhard Bonke would put it.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to depopulate hell and populate heaven. True. So that's the inspiration behind the name.
Wow.
And we reach out to various communities in Botswana. That is where we started. And just last year, we had our very first cross-border outreach to Malawi.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So we reached, our target and focus is primarily to the less reached and unreached communities. That is to respond to why leaving the city. Yeah. Of course, the city also needs to be reached. Of course, because as long as there is a soul to be saved, then there is a preaching to be done.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And no place is over-evangelized.
That's very true.
Because as long as there is someone that needs to be saved, there is still a preaching that needs to be done. But our heart goes out especially to the less reached places and to the unreached places. That is why oftentimes we do the outreaches in the remote areas and the less developed areas, because again you'd realize that to a certain degree civilization has a part in the extent of where the gospel had reached. You find that the less civilized places are the less rich places in terms of the gospel reaching the places. So yeah.
It struck me very interesting. I said, you know what? It's a beautiful thing, Mabon. It's a very beautiful thing. When we talk about the issue of sacrifices in the Old Testament, one man of God once made something very clear to me. He said, you people, you don't understand to what extent for Solomon to give 1,000 camels, what it took. He began to talk about the altar, that the altar was built with very heavy stones. So it meant that they had to build an altar enough, because how many days would it take to sacrifice 1,000 camels, 1,000 goats, 1,000 in an altar the side of this room? So you find that our effort in doing what God is requiring of us is also key. Don't present yourself, put effort in it. Like I'm saying, you're not looking at your comfort zone. That's the beauty about it.
To move from the comfort
zone. True. It's so beautiful. So how do you guys do it to get to those places?
I guess it's the two ways. Firstly, the places that we are led to go to, we try to identify if there is a church in existence in that locality and reach out to them to see how they could partner with them. And like you are saying, then they arrange for us issues of accommodation, helping us talking with the leadership of the village, and just a partnership in the arrangement for the crusade. Or it is the pastors in those remote areas that call out to say, I'm in ministry this side, and I believe that I need your help in this aspect of reaching the place. And because these are very less developed areas, most of them, you find that they don't even have equipment to do the crusade. So we started to embark on the journey because we realized when we reached our first outreach was in 2018. That is when I can say Kasal Hotimi was birthed in 2018. We had our first crusade in Takatokwan, and our main challenge was sound system and also was transport, because we find that there are people that are willing to volunteer to go serve, to go do house-to-house evangelism and stuff, but they find that they don't have the means to get there. So these were our main challenges, and God came through for us. So we started a project where we just talk to brethren around us. We are having this crusade coming up, and likely to donate any amount towards it. So as people would be sending through their donations, their monies, we found that we are able to hire sound system for and other logistics towards the crusade.
Wow.
Then we realized that with that model, we are going to cover fewer areas, because when our treasurer did the report, we realized that the bulk of the budget went to sound equipment. For the first time we did, the second time we did in Hebron, the person was reasonable. I think he said around 3,000 for the 3 days. And then when we did a second one in Debate, he now came with a heavier coat, around 8,000 or so. So I was like, no, we have to do something.
Yeah.
So I saw a man on Facebook who had the build sound, so reached out to him and he gave us a reasonable quote. So we fundraised towards the crusade.
Wow.
With a goal of at least securing the two 3 speakers and then complementing the little the church had. So then we made it a target to build slowly but surely to have a complete set. So we are driving towards there. We have a few things left, but now we are able to do several crusades in a year, because we know that the few that are items that are not there, we can borrow or learn from other movements and individuals.
That's good. That's powerful. Yeah. So you mean if I'm in Tota, for example, and I'm starting a church, or I've started a church, I can just get in contact with you guys and say, look, the harvest is ready this side. Yeah. This is what I'm able to do on my side. What can be done? That's exactly what you're saying.
That's what we are saying.
You're making me jealous right now. No, you're making me jealous.
Our crusades are designed in such a way that they address several aspects. One, to train the church, the hosting church, on evangelism and on saving in the crusade. So we train the church on evangelism, and then we get in the village with the members and just reach out from house to house, because really evangelism is better learned in the field, in the mission field, not in the classroom.
Very true.
Yeah, and that is why we then go with them house to house. We go to the first house, we know, we give the message and testify to them, give their lives to Christ. God does his work. Move to the second, move to the third, then you find that the individual is charged to proceed to the next and to the next. Even when we are gone back, the work continues, because they have caught the fire.
Wow.
You find that evangelism is more caught than taught. Again, we train them on serving during our crusades, that is on ushering, and praise and worship. We could do a training for them when we engage other worship ministers who are then available to do that part, because we are graced differently. So somebody could teach the praise and worship better than what I can say, because that is their primary calling, that is their field. So we do the training. Secondly, during the crusade, we also have a children's ministry that we have on a Saturday afternoon, we make an arrangement where the kids in the village just gather and they are taught the word of God, the gospel, that we present the gospel to them in a simplified manner they can understand better.
Yeah.
And lastly is the aspect of charity. That is why we reach out to you guys, and you have been very supportive.
Thank God. We are trying, but now it's not, I can see it's not enough.
So because we believe that faith is not just in word, but also in deeds, in action. I mean, you can come to somebody, they need clothes, but we only tell them be filled and satisfied, and we give them nothing.
Doesn't the word say, when you see a brother in need, do not say to him, go, the Lord will bless you. Give him that which he needs. That is very key.
Otherwise, faith without works will be dead.
It'll be dead.
Yeah, so that's what James says. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is one of the aspects that we really make sure that in every outreach we also touch base on that. And God has been gracing us with a lot of friends in recent times over the period. Because last year, somebody just sent me, how many Bibles do you need?
Wow.
I said,
wow.
I failing to answer that because we need many Bibles.
Yeah.
So he said, okay. And then he linked us to some friends. They were in a work trip with, and their friends shared with them the heart of giving out Bibles. And then they heard of what we are doing and said, well, and these are friends from South Africa.
Wow.
So they're saying, okay, we have a desire to place the Bible in the hand of every individual. But we are just few friends of 5, and we set up some funds and then buy Bibles, then send them through. So they would send through 80 Bibles. We go for an outreach. The people that give that, the converts in the crusades that we do, we are able to not only just lead them with preaching the gospel, but to place the Bible in their hands.
That's powerful.
Through that.
When I look at this, the vision that I see touch all the areas of the village, from the little one to the elderly.
Yeah.
It's so powerful, man. God is wonderful. That's powerful.
So that is why we believe so much in the partnership with the local church, because what we do is we want to it's more of reaching out, gathering, because the evangelists would gather, but then the pastor would have to guide, to nurture, so the hosting church now assumes the responsibility of discipling and following up on these new converts, so that they are groomed to be like the Lord.
Wonderful. Transformed into the image of the.
Yes.
Man, come on. So you have registered this?
Yes.
Is it registered?
It's registered.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
That's Alohodimo.
That's Alohodimo.
But the official name that we registered with is Global Impact Outreach Center. Yeah, so that's beautiful.
Now, I'm sure you have account details, because
yes,
God has no choice but to make this thing viral. You must have more than enough. as a believer, when you hear something like this, I'm telling you, you should be shaken. You should be shaken.
I got emotional when we were in Malawi. It was our first missionary trip outside Botswana. And we did more, we are concentrating more on doing street evangelism, more open air crusades. So we were in this marketplace and I went to a certain compound to do the evangelism there. And I was with two other brother, one sister we came with, and another sister in Malawi to help with the translation. Because those people usually mostly they know their language. You rarely find somebody knowing English, yeah, in that locality. So we are preaching to these women. So when we're still preaching, there was two of their children appeared so weak. We are told they had malaria and they hadn't even eaten just a proper meal for quite some time. God knows how long. And we preached to them and we prayed for them. And I wasn't even sure, Lord, I've never prayed for someone with malaria before, especially in this condition. Lord, you have to do something. We are in a very layer.
I can see that. I can see the environment, my God.
You have to do something. After prayer, those two kids got lively. The other one was better because she could sit and pray. The other one was completely weak. She couldn't. God. So I prayed for her while lying down there. Guess what? After prayer, she jumped up and jumped off the wall, instead of going about it.
Wow.
In the veranda. It was so. It was exciting.
Wow.
But then what broke my heart was the part where now that they have been healed, but they still need the strength because they haven't eaten for days. And in that moment, I didn't even have a kwacha in me. Didn't have money in me. We thank God because the sister we were with had some money to buy some stuff, but she had to give to them to at least buy then something. And I said, but this is what we should be doing as we preach the gospel, to also meet the needs of the community that we reach through.
True. Wow.
That brings about impact.
Wow. This is so powerful.